morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
You know that little thing I just did there? I'm like, good morning, everyone. And then I'm like, good morning, everyone. You know that? That's the difference. That's the difference between fraternity men and other men. Fraternity men, we turn ourselves up a notch, don't we? We're a little bit more, we're a little bit louder, we're a little bit more enthusiastic. We show up in the morning like you all did today. I appreciate that. I'm glad you're here. Hey, I want to start with something. I want to start with a simple phrase that I want everybody to say along with me. The phrase is real simple. It goes like this: brothers are different than buddies. All right, here's what I want you to do. On the count of three, do me a favor. Everybody just say that out loud, nice and easy. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, brothers are different than buddies. That's a simple statement. Do me a favor. Say it a little louder this time. Say it like you mean it from your belly. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's good. That's good. Now, real quick, I want you to turn to your neighbor, look him right in the face, turn to somebody sitting right next to you, and say it to him like in a serious face, like you're serious about it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. You know, it's a simple statement, and I think we all probably agree upon that statement. That's probably not news to anybody in here. But it's a statement and a sentiment that I don't think we talk about nearly enough. Brothers are different than buddies. See, this thing, this brotherhood thing, this fraternity thing, it's this incredible gift. It's this life-changing gift. It's this gift that you have. This ATO thing is a gift that you have that you can give away to people who deserve and desire it, if only you know the right way to do it. We've got this beautiful life-changing gift. I'll tell you, when I was 18 years old, the greatest gift I'd ever been given to that point in my life was the gift of fraternity. It made me a better human being. It made me a better student. It made me a better friend. It made me a better classmate. It made me a better leader. And since then, for many years, it has made me a better entrepreneur. It's made me a better community servant. It's made me a better husband, and it's made me a better father. This fraternity thing is beautiful. It is a life-changing gift. It is a gift that we have to give away. It's our responsibility to give it away. The moment we give it away, that moment we invite somebody else into our fraternity, is what fraternity is. That's the moment. That's what it looks like to create brotherhood. And buried in that statement, brothers are different than buddies, that simple statement, brothers are different than buddies, that statement can transform the way that you recruit. Because I know that ATO isn't a buddy club. I know that ATO isn't about just hanging out with some pals. There's something more to it. I hope you'll allow me. I want to turn to a reading. I'm going to read this. Will you do me a favor? Just listen along. Just enjoy it this morning. Feel free to do this if you'd like. If there's anything that you agree with or anything that touches your heart a little bit, I'd like you to just nudge your neighbor a little bit. Just give him a little nudge so he knows you're listening and that you agree with that. In fact, let's practice that real quick so it doesn't get too violent in here. Everybody, just give your neighbor a nudge. Very good. That's too violent, but very good, everybody. That's good. All right. Everybody just sit back and enjoy. I'm going to offer a little reading. It starts like this: we are more. Oh, by the way, there's going to be some words up on the screen. What a lot of people do at this moment is pull out their phone and take a picture of these words. If they touch you, if they mean anything to you, it's okay. If you don't, just want to offer that that's okay. We are more. That's the best, most succinct, most all-encompassing, and the more you let it sink in, the most powerful way to describe what being a fraternity man is all about. It seems almost cliche at first glance. We are more. It's nothing on its surface, just a collection of a few words housed in a sentence. It's a humble little sentence that many onlookers would breeze right past, thinking nothing of it. The individual words seem really common, but when they come together, they reveal the power of a collection of people who choose to live in such a way as to exceed expectations. We are more. It's like the brevity of the sentence camouflages the potential that lies within. These three little words carry weight. Three little words that are timeless. Three little words, we are more. Fraternity men, like you and I, we make the choice to be more. We are more gentlemanly. We are more charitable. We are more likely to raise our hand. We are more colorful and loud. We are more enthusiastic and confident. We try more, we achieve more, and we care more. We are more honorable and more fun. We are more because we make the choice to be. See, this fraternity thing is more than most understand it to be. Fraternity is not a club. It's not a party. It's a challenge and a promise. It's a million moments of truth. It's old and it's new. It's a gift entrusted to me to cherish and then give away. It's a shared mission. It's a lifelong expectation. It's a daily call to action. It's an ancient tradition. It's a future of opportunity. It's a chance to matter. That's what fraternity has done for me. It's given me a chance to matter. It has given me brothers who love me and who I love. Oh, and I should explain one more thing. Brothers. You might not understand me when I use this word. That's okay. Let me explain. Brotherhood is far more than friendship, more than buddies. It's a shared cause. It's a common purpose. It's a commitment to helping each other live as our best self every day. It's trust. It's a promise. It's a lifelong vow to help me become all that I'm destined to be. I share that with you all this morning because I don't think we talk enough about this product that we have that we're offering to the world. We don't talk about what it is. We talk about recruitment as though it's a 6-day process of hustling to shake a bunch of hands and be real nice and feed people food and hopefully check their Facebook feed to make sure they didn't post anything dumb and then vote on them at the end based on who seems good guy enough and then give them a bid, hopefully, right? That's not what recruitment is. Recruitment is about these words that I just shared, understanding what a fraternity man is, what fraternity is, and what brotherhood is, and what a gift that is to offer. So for about 15 years, me and a bunch of other people in my company, Phired Up Productions, we've been helping fraternities grow. We've been helping fraternities drive a high quantity of high-quality people into their chapters because that's what you want. You want the highest quantity of high-quality men so that you can achieve your purpose. And what I've spent 15 years doing is studying how to do that well. And I want to share some of that stuff with you if that's all right. I've got a workshop a little later on today I'll play in. But this morning, I want to start us off by understanding that the most important, recruitment isn't a thing we do at the beginning of the fall semester. Recruitment is the thing we do. The way that we make brotherhood, the way that we perpetuate ATO's potential is through giving that gift away to more men who deserve and desire it. So allow me to get started. Let's start here. A basic truth. You can't recruit who you don't know. Everybody read those words out loud on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. It's a pretty simple, obvious point, right? Everybody knows this. This is not rocket science by any means. I'm not shocking anybody by saying this. You can't recruit who you don't know. But this is so important because it's the number one rule that fraternity chapters break when it comes to recruitment. They forget this basic, most obvious truth. You can't recruit who you don't know. Until the moment you shake somebody's hand, you don't have a chance to recruit them. Could you come up here, guy in the NASA shirt, just real quick? I'm not going to hurt you, don't worry. Come on up. You can even just stand right there, just so you're kind of in the light. Can you guys see this guy? Everybody see him? Everybody say yes if you see him. Yeah. Everybody say hi, brother. Hi, brother. Cool. Hi, brother. My name's Matt. What's your name? Bo. Bo, nice to meet you. You guys see this? You guys see this magical moment between Bo and I right now? This is, okay. It's all right, Bo. I'm here. Good. I appreciate you showing up. This magical moment is incredibly important. I know it doesn't seem like anything. I know it seems like a silly little thing. But this is the moment I have a chance to recruit Bo, or influence Bo, or lead Bo, or learn from Bo, or be led by Bo. Nothing until that moment. No chance, no chance, no chance. Now I got a chance, and that's a big deal. Because there are thousands of men, at least hundreds of men on your campus who you've never done this with and therefore do not have a chance to recruit, do not have a chance to change their lives, do not have a chance for them to change your life through them giving you brotherhood in the future. Bo, doesn't that feel good? Everybody give your brother Bo a big round of applause. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. That's such an obvious thing. I know it's so simple. You can't recruit who you don't know. I know it's basic. But I want you to start to think right now in your mind about how much of your recruitment strategy is intentionally built around meeting more people. Because until you do that one first thing, you don't have a chance to do anything else. All right, one other basic, obvious lesson, something that you probably already know. People don't join organizations. People join people. Let me tell you a story. I'll tell you, when I was I remember freshman year of college, for me, it was a long time ago, I'll be honest with you, but I remember freshman year of college. I remember specifically second day of school freshman year. I'll tell you exactly where I was. I was in my dorm room. I'll be honest with you, I was up on the top bunk. I was curled into a tiny little ball in the fetal position, and I was crying. I was sad. I was lonely. I missed my mommy and my daddy back home. Missed my girlfriend back home. Thank God that one's over. She was a train wreck. But anyway, that was real. She was very nice. Anyway, you know who else I missed? I missed that small group of friends I had back in high school. You guys remember that small group of friends you had back in high school? Man, I miss those dudes. We did everything together. I miss those guys. And I didn't know anybody on campus except my roommate, who I had met the day before. And I swear to you, he was this tall, had bright red hair. I was certain he was some sort of evil leprechaun sent to kill me, right? So there I am. I'm sad. I'm lonely in my dorm room. I'm crying. And my RA walks down the hall and knocks on the door. You guys have an RA? You know what I'm talking about, right? My RA knocks on the door. He says, "Hey, Matt." I said, "Yeah." He said, "You're gonna go play volleyball tonight." I said, "Okay, whatever you say. I'm a freshman. I'll do whatever you tell me," right? So then I went and played volleyball. It was delightful. Next day, similar situation. I'm in my dorm room again. I'm sad. I'm lonely. I'm scared. My leprechaun's like scratching at the bed, and my RA comes walking down the hall again. He knocks on the door. He says, "Hey, Matt." I said, "Yeah, Tom." His name was Tom. He said, "You're going to go bowling tonight." I said, "Okay, I'm a freshman. Literally, I'll do anything you tell me." And so that night I went bowling. You know how you bowl on a lane with a few other people at the same time? That night I bowled with 3 men. Their names were Kevin, Kevin, and Kevin. You can't make this stuff up, you guys. That was real. 5 days later, exact timeline, 5 days later, I was in a cornfield. I don't have a good explanation for that. I'm just telling you the facts of the situation. 5 days later, I was in a cornfield. Here's what I was doing. I was down on one knee, raising my right hand. There were people standing around me in black robes holding candles with their hoods up. What was going on, you guys? I didn't know. There's another guy sitting behind a table, reading something out of a book, making me say, how'd they get a table in the cornfield, by the way? I still don't understand that, but there it was. I'm out there, and the guy behind the table is making me say something like, "I pledge my life to truth, wisdom, brotherly love, science, charity, purity, honor, and patriotism in the name of Alpha Sigma Phi fraternity." Guys, I did not know what I was getting into that night. I did not know what was going on. I knew very little about what was actually happening in that moment, right? The only thing I really knew was that 4 of those guys standing around me in the black robes with their hoods up holding candles, their names were Tom, Kevin, and Kevin. See, people don't join organizations. That night I didn't join Alpha Sigma Phi fraternity, and none of you joined ATO. I mean, eventually you sort of did, but what you really joined is somebody. Who's your guy? My guy's Tom. He's my RA. His name's Tom Coy, by the way. He works at Bradley University. He's a real-life human being and changed my life. He gave me the gift of fraternity. That one guy. Who's your guy? On the count of 3, do me a favor. On the count of 3, say the name of your one person, the one person who's responsible for you being a member of ATO. Say that guy's name out loud to honor him. On the count of 3, ready? 1, 2, 3. We all got a guy. Good job. Think about this. We all got a guy. This is a really important lesson when it comes to recruitment. Let me make this point outrageously clear. None of you were impressed by ATO. None of you were so flabbergasted by the cool table and the giant cutout letters set up next to somebody who had a Jeep parked in the lawn, right? Like, none of you were like, "I want that." You got a guy. None of you were like, "This party's the greatest party I've ever been to, and I'll bet nobody else could possibly throw a party like this," and you decided to join this fraternity for the rest of your life and pay dues and insurance. None of you did that. You all have a guy. I mean, those might have been factors. Those might have been experiences that you had, but everybody can name your one person, and this is a big deal because fraternities spend so much time trying to impress people, and they forget that all they have to do is connect with people. And that's a big difference. That's a dramatically different strategy. So when I look at the landscape of fraternity recruitment right now, there's some interesting trends that are happening. Number one, there are less men enrolling in college. Your chapters, if they haven't already, on your campus, maybe not ATO, because ATO does some smart things. And if you follow along with the smart things that ATO is trying to do, that stuff is to protect you against the realities of the world out there. See, enrollment trends on colleges and universities across North America right now are going down. We've hit a cliff. And there are less men enrolling in college, which means that there will be less men who sign up for recruitment in general. Another big trend, formal recruitment. Your IFCs want to take control of the recruitment process, which I don't blame them for. Somebody has to take control of the recruitment process. And I give a big shout out to all the IFC officers who show up to this event because you're an IFC officer back on your campus and you're just trying to take control of an out-of-control process, of a process that's inviting the wrong men into the wrong chapters in the wrong ways. So I give you a shout out if you are an IFC officer who's trying to do that. But also, since I'm speaking directly to ATO, let me say this very clearly. I don't think you should put the control of who gets in your fraternity in the hands of IFC officers. This is your chapter, your fraternity. And I think the choice of who is in control is a big decision. And you get to make that choice. Formal recruitment can be good. It can be good for a campus community. It can be good for individual chapters. But for a national organization, as you consider your future in a tumultuous time, because of course the third thing that I was going to mention is that the reputation of fraternity in general, publicly, is at an all-time low. You all know this. You're living the... God, this is not fair, by the way, for you. Especially you. You guys who show up to ATO Congress, right? You come to Orlando, you sit in a hotel for a few days because you actually genuinely want to be a good leader, you want to learn, you want to do the right things, you want to make ATO even better. This is not fair to you. Like, it is outrageously difficult to be a college guy in 2018. Outrageously difficult. It's harder to be a college woman, even harder to be somebody who doesn't identify as either, but that doesn't mean it's not hard to be you. It's really hard to be a college guy right now. It's incredibly difficult to be a college fraternity leader because most of you didn't cause the problems that you're being asked to solve, right? Oh, and by the way, congratulations, you're a chapter officer, an IFC officer. You've got 9 months to actually do anything. Nobody's going to give you any training. So the first 6 of those months, you're just trying to figure out what the hell to do. So you got 3 months to make an impact. And if you don't do it, we blame you. This is not fair to you. I just need you to know that. I believe it's our responsibility, and ATO, no kidding, you're part of one of the only organizations out there who is doing this at the highest levels, supporting you and trying to help solve these problems at the highest levels. I have the utmost respect for ATO because they get that. They get that we can't put this burden on your shoulders because you're not just a chapter officer or an IFC officer, you're also a human. You're a guy, you've got a relationship, you've got classes, you've got 3 jobs, you've got 1,000 other things to do, not to mention involvement in 100 other things. This is hard. I just want you to know that. My job as a speaker this morning is pretty clear. Make it easier. Simplify it. Give you a mindset, give you a perspective to look at recruitment differently. People don't join organizations. People join people. And in fact, let me say this, recruitment is good recruitment for good chapters, for ATO, is entirely a relationship business. So if this is true, if recruitment is a relationship business, maybe the most important thing we could work on together is relationships, is genuine, meaningful human connection, not surface level BS that happens at a formal rush event for 30 minutes where I know your name, your major, no, I don't remember your name actually, but I remember your major, where you live and where you're from and if you played sports in high school. And that's it, right? And look, you seem like a pretty solid dude. No. Let's work on relationships. In fact, let's do this. Let's mingle. When I say go, not until I say go. When I say go, here's what I want you to do. When I say go, I want you to stand up. I want you to walk someplace in this room, find a stranger, find a guy you don't know or don't know very well, shake that guy's hand, sit down with them, have a conversation. Everybody understand? On your marks, get set, stop. Oh, that's fun to watch. Everybody sit down, sit back down. I said stop, I didn't say go. That's okay, you did good. I appreciate your enthusiasm back there. This is always really fun for me to watch, right? Because I do this a lot with a lot of audiences. I say on your mark, it says stop. Because when I say I want you to go meet a stranger, there's always like a physical reaction in the audience, right? In fact, there's a whole spectrum of physical reactions. On one end of the spectrum, I say I want you to go meet a stranger. And some of you guys are like, yay, friends. I'm the social chair. Let's do it, right? That's great. A little further down the spectrum, for a whole lot of you, I said I want you to stand up and go meet a stranger. And you just responded this way. And then at the other end of the spectrum, I said, I want you to stand up and go meet a stranger, and a handful of you were all like, oh, shit. Now, wherever you are, excuse me, it's ATO, I apologize. Wherever you are on that spectrum, I need you to know it's okay. I need you to know it's okay. But I do want to push you a little bit, because recruitment is entirely about human connection. In fact, all of life is about human connection. We can get to that if you want, but let's just talk about recruitment right now. It is about human connection, and it's about choice. Your choice to connect or not. Your choice to care or not. Your choice to go one level deeper or not. So here's what I want you to do. No kidding, I need your help. When I say go, I want you to stand up and go meet a stranger. I want you to shake that guy's hand, sit down next to him. It's really important that everybody sits down and has a conversation. One last thing. I'm going to stop your conversation by raising my hand. When I raise my hand, you'll raise your hand. That's how we'll all know how to stop talking, all right? Let's practice the hand raise thing real quick just to make sure you understand it. Everybody chatter, just chatter. Okay, you get it, good. Everybody start moving your head around. Look for a low-risk stranger to talk to. On your marks, get set, go. Good job, good job. Everybody keep your hand in the air. Good job, make a fist. Pump your fist. That was just for fun, but keep your fist in the air. Close your eyes. You're gonna have to trust me and your neighbor here for a second. Stick out your thumb. Keep your eyes closed, keep your thumb out. What I want you to do right now is I want you to think about that last little momentary interaction you just had, and I want you to rate that interaction using your thumb as a rating scale. Here's how it works. If your thumb is straight up in the air, it was like the greatest conversation of your life. You're embraced in a bro hug right now. If your thumb is straight down toward the ground, one of you got injured during the course of the exercise. You're not sure how, but it went really wrong. That's fine. I want you to use your thumb right now to honestly rate the quality of that last little interaction. Go ahead and lock it in. Keep your eyes closed. Good. And open your eyes. Good job. Good job. Good job. Put your hands down. I giggle. Sorry to giggle at you, but here's what happened. I'm like, okay, and lock it in. And then I said, and open your eyes. That's cool. Hey, if you're not sitting down, you might want to grab a seat real quick. So this little thumb scale thing seems like a silly little icebreaker. We do it at summer camp or something like that, and I get that. But for me, this thumb scale thing, this thumbs up, thumbs down thing, it matters. Like, it really matters. I want you to think about that little interaction you just had, just a conversation, whatever. We have those every day, all day, right? We have them in class, or before class, or after class, walking to class. We have them in the house. We have them during recruitment, right? We have them in the evening, at nighttime when we got a drink in our hand and we're having a good time. We have them on Sunday morning. We have them with our family. We have them over the phone. We have these little momentary interactions all the time. Like, they fill our life, right? These little itty-bitty momentary interactions. They seem like nothing, but I think the quality of these little momentary interactions add up. At the very least, the quality of these little momentary interactions add up to determine the quality of your day. Would you agree with that, right? You have a day full of interactions you'd rate like this, you probably had a day that felt like this, right? You have a day full of interactions that felt like this, you had a day that felt like this, and there's a lot of days that feel like this. You have a day full of interactions of any sort, and even one of them you'd rate like this, you had a day that felt like this, right? That's a big deal. I'll go a little further. I think the quality of these little momentary interactions, these little conversations, the quality of these little momentary interactions determines the quality of your entire college experience. I've been away from college for a long time, and when I look back, I don't remember my GPA, I really don't. I don't remember much of what I learned in my classes, I really don't. I don't remember how well I did on that midterm or on that final or on that paper, I really don't. You know what I remember? I remember a few of these, a few powerful, meaningful, unforgettable moments with a brother, or with a friend, or with a classmate, with a professor that mattered, that changed me, that transformed me, that helped me see the world differently. These little moments matter. And one more thing, and maybe the most relevant thing for our conversation this morning, I think the quality of these little momentary interactions determine the quality of your fraternity, period. You want to have a quality fraternity? I think it happens right there in that space, the space between your brothers and other human beings. Here's why. See, you and I are part of a social fraternity. Social fraternity means that we're a make-believe organization. We're not real, except in the space between our brothers and other human beings. The way our brothers fill the space between them and other human beings is the only place where Otis Allen Glazebrook and all of ATO history comes to life. The only place your ritual is lived. You know that whole live your ritual nonsense that we talk about all the time? The only place it happens is in these small little momentary interactions. And the quality with which your brothers fill that space determines the quality of ATO, period. And when it comes to recruitment only happens in one space, in one place. It's not at a party, it's not at a house, it's not at an event. It's in that space, wherever that space happens. The space between your brothers and the people we're recruiting. And how you fill that space matters. Do me a favor. I want you to think right now in your mind, what does it take to create a thumbs-up interaction? I'm not here to teach you social skills. I'm not here to tell you to lean in, make eye contact, and smile. This isn't good, by the way, but I'm not here to teach you that stuff. I'm here for you to you already know that. You're ATOs. But the question is, what's the choice that you make in any given interaction? Do you skate through it? I do. I skate through a lot of those conversations. Do you just fake your way through it, try to get to the next one? Do you go through these little momentary interactions focused on yourself, focused on your needs or somebody else's? Do you live as an ATO in these momentary interactions? Think for yourself for a moment, what does it take to create a thumbs-up interaction? When I say go, here's what I want you to do. I want you to shake the hands of 4 more men in this room, ideally people you don't know. Real quick, shake their hand, introduce yourself. Quick, 4 introductions. The 4th introduction you have, that's your new partner. You're going to sit down together. Here's the hitch and the giddy up. This time when you shake those hands, have those little momentary interactions, I need you to do whatever you can do to create a thumbs-up interaction, a real moment, a connection with all 4 of those people. Everybody start to look around, look for some 4 safe targets. That's difficult. On your marks, get set, go. Good job. Everybody keep your hand in the air. Put it way up high as you can. Good job. I want you to start to slowly lower it with me. Slowly, easy, slow. Nice and slow. Just bring it down. Get it to about eye level. Once it's there, I want you to start moving it around so that you're looking directly at your palm. I'm not going to make you hit yourself in the face. Now, when I say go, I want you to take your palm and put it directly over your name tag. Go. Good, leave it there. Now here's what I'd like you to do. With your partner, I'd like you to thank your current partner for having, a great conversation. Just thank them for a great conversation by name. Ready, get, set, go. Psst. Good job. Good job. Keep your hand in the air if you're willing to admit you forgot that guy's name. Good job, half the room. Nice job. In fact, do me another favor. Everybody put your hand in the air. You've met 5 people in this room so far. The first one and then 4 more just now. You've met 5 people. I want you to use your fingers to indicate the amount of names that you remember of those 5 people. Let me see it. Good. A lot of 2s, some 3s, a 5, a hot shot. All right. A 0? Really? We just did the... Okay, everybody put your hand back down. Good job. Good job. Silly little, do you remember his name? Like, what a fun little gimmick. I get it. But I don't know. Like, the one thing I said to do is create a thumbs up interaction, right? Like, that was your only instruction. And almost all of you, if I said, what are the top 3 things to do to create a thumbs up interaction? You'd be like, I don't know, care about him, remember his name, right? And how often do we not, right? In a recruitment event where we know like our only job is to remember this dude's name and did he play football for a rival high school? Like that's all that matters. We don't remember. Why do we not remember? It's all choice, right? It's all choice. It's not that you don't know how to remember. It's not that you can't remember. It's that you don't make the choice to make that a priority in the conversation. Every moment is a choice. Every one of these little momentary interactions, it's full of choices. Do we make the choice to lean in? No, first, do we make the choice to engage? Do we make the choice to start a conversation? Do we make the choice to go up and sit next to that person? I always like to think about when we walk into this room, when you walk into a room like this, right? The first thing many people do is you walk through the door and you look around, you look for your people, right? You look for your guys. And you don't do it that desperately, right? You walk in all cool with your coffee. Where are they? Oh, God, there they are. Okay. Hey, what's up, guys? And we go sit next to our guys. Why? Because we want to feel safe, and there's nothing wrong with that. We do that in every room we walk into. We do that in a classroom. We do that at an event like this. We do that at an event back at school. We do that all the time. We look for our people. We find our safe space, right? And that's totally normal. Except ATO doesn't ask you to be normal. ATO asks you to be exceptional, to be excellent. And so my business partner, he always says, don't look for the most comfortable seat, right? The place that would make you feel most comfortable. Don't look for the most comfortable seat. Look for the least comfortable person. See, that's what an ATO does, I think. I think that's what a fraternity man does. It's hard. Do we always do it? No, of course not. But do we try? Do we make the choice because our fraternity asks us to be better, to be more? I think we do. Do we choose to engage? Do we choose to care? Do we choose to be curious? Do we choose to be generous in our attention? Do we choose to actually focus or check our phone all the time? Do we choose to be authentic? These are all choices. Do we choose to be our real self? Do we choose to be vulnerable because we realize that people don't join organizations, people join people. And the only way that people join people, the only thing that happens when a person joins a person, the only thing that really happens is that one of them opened up just a little bit. So you may not realize this, you may not use these words, but I'm going to say this and you're all going to agree with it. Especially a first-year student, when they come to college, they want 2 simple things. They want to be loved and they want to matter. And I don't think you should put on the front of your t-shirt, ATO loves you and you matter to us. But I do think you got to keep in mind that that is all any of us are looking for all the time. By the way, the guys who are leaving your chapter, the guys who are about to quit, the guys in your new member class this upcoming semester who are going to drift away, who aren't going to connect, it's real simple the reason why, because they didn't feel loved and they didn't feel like they mattered. That's it. That's all. That's the whole thing. Recruitment comes down to that. Do I feel loved, and do I feel like I might matter here? Is this the place where I will feel loved? Like, I know we don't use those words that often, but that is it. That's the business that we're in. And so these little momentary connections have to be about more than just exchanging information back and forth. They have to be about more than a ping pong match of sentences and questions that are surface level. We've got to go one level deeper. We've got to care. We've got to choose to be authentic and vulnerable. Every moment is a choice. Do me a favor, 60-second conversation with your current partner. I'm not going to make you move anymore. Quick conversation with your partner about how to have a meaningful recruitment conversation. Ready, get set, go. Good job, gentlemen. Hey, thanks for playing along with me this morning. I appreciate that. I know there's no reason that you should have trusted me when I walked up here on stage. I'm a guy on stage, and you guys played along with me. You've been polite and kind throughout this. I appreciate it. Hey, I want to shift gears for a second. I want to do what everybody wants to do at 9:45 in the morning, and that is, not that. I want to do numbers. I want to do math. We're going to do math. I'm going to tell you some numbers right now. This year, about 100,000 men will join one of about 6,100 fraternity chapters on 800 campuses across North America and expanding into a couple other continents, but mostly here in North America. Think about those numbers for a second. Those are important numbers. They're big numbers. They're impressive. I'll just say one little comment about one of the numbers up here. Of those 100,000 men, I always like to ask the question, how many of them are the right men? Out of 100,000 every year, how many are the ones that we actually are proud that we recruited and not who just incidentally joined our organization? Another number, about 9.8%. This is on campuses across North America where fraternity and sorority life exists. This is, in general, our market share. About 9.8% of students on campus, based on everything we can count, about 9.8% of students on campuses where fraternity and sorority exists choose to join Greek life. In other words, we scare away over 90% of our friends. Everybody understand that part? Yeah. That's the bad part of that. Now, is that because these are the best of the best 9.8% of men on campus that join our fraternities? I mean, maybe an ATO, but no, right? Like, I think that's an easy answer. Okay, so some other math. We did, over the last several years, we've done some research. We've asked non-Greek students what they think about fraternities and sororities. So I just want to share this with you real quick. Maybe there's a couple insights that you'll be able to take home and digest and make sense for you and your chapter. So we asked students on campuses all across North America, big campuses, small campuses, private, public, you get the idea. We asked tons and tons of students, non-Greek students, hey, what do you think about fraternities and sororities? And we asked that in a few different ways. The first way we asked it is, what are some words that come to mind when you think of fraternity and sorority? Now, these are not going to surprise anybody, right? This is like level 1 questions. Anybody surprised by any of those words up there? Yeah, douche made the list, I know. Good for us. We're really crushing it out there, reputation-wise. But pretty much none of these are surprising, right? These are standard words you would see. So we asked the question in a different way. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Don't worry, I'll try and point it out to you. I'll explain everything to you. We asked a simple question: in your opinion, why do fraternities and sororities exist? Again, we asked non-Greek students this. Here's what they said. You can't really see it, so I'll tell you from biggest answer to smallest answer. I'm going to read them across. Okay. Friendship, in your opinion, why do fraternities and sororities exist? Friendship, parties, connections, fun, drinking, community service, continual legacy, charity, ritual, sex, right after ritual. Values, right after sex. Academic support, school spirit, sports, and spirituality. There's a lot of ways you could crunch these numbers and analyze this particular piece of data. But for me, I just look at everything that had over 40%. Everything that had over a 40% response rate. I'll read them to you. Friendship, parties, connections, fun, drinking. Friendship, parties, connections, fun, drinking. I think it's safe to say, and it won't be a big surprise, that most non-Greek students, when they think of fraternity and sorority, they kind of just think we're drunk buddies, right? And here's the thing. I actually don't think that's bad news, I'll be honest. First of all, they could say a lot worse things about us, you guys, than that we're drunk buddies. And they'd kind of be right about some of our interfraternal friends. Is that true? Yes. They could say a lot worse things about us. And here's the other thing. Most non-Greek students, you know what they have? Drunk buddies. They got their own drunk buddies. You guys, it's not like a bad thing in their mind. They're like, we got that, yeah. Except they don't have to pay for theirs. They don't have to wear weird matching t-shirts with theirs. They don't have to go through a weird new member orientation process, whatever that ends up being. They don't have to do any of those things. They don't have to pay insurance for their drunk buddies. They just get drunk and be buddies. That's the whole thing, right? By the way, go ahead and do that, right? Let's go back to how I opened. Brothers are different than buddies. Brothers are different than buddies, and we've got to find a way to help non-Greek students understand that we may be drunk buddies with a couple of our brothers, but that is not what it means to be a brother. But they associate it as a one-to-one, thing, right? I don't know what the word was that I was looking for there. I'll just move on. We asked non-Greek students a simple question. Are you interested in fraternity and sorority? We asked them, what is your level of interest in fraternity and sorority life? I need you to understand this stat. 42% of students we asked had a high or neutral level of interest in fraternity or sorority. 42%. That's a lot. Remember, 9.8% join. 42% are like, yeah, like maybe, I don't know, sure. So why don't they join? Like, what are we doing wrong? What could it possibly be? 77% were never recruited. Same people we asked, have you ever been recruited, talked to about recruitment, thought about joining, been to a recruitment event? Nope. Nobody ever even talked to me. In fact, to just go one level deeper, we look at this. 50% of non-Greek students know less than 5 fraternity men or sorority women. I think this is good news because it tells us this. They don't hate us. They just don't know us. They don't hate us. They just don't know us. Turns out you can't recruit who you don't know. And we can't recruit them because we don't know them. One other little nugget. I love this question. It's a terrible research question. If you're like a research junkie, just ignore me for a second. But the rest of you just play along because this is fun. We asked non-Greek students this question. If there was an organization on campus about high moral development, human connection, leadership, and making a positive impact on the world, would you be interested in learning more? First of all, give me a little head nod. If ATO is kind of about high moral development, human connection, leadership, and making a positive impact on the world, does that sound like you guys? Yes, it does. We asked non-Greek students, would you be interested in learning more? You know what they said? They said, yes, 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 yes. No, there's always one. But 91%, 9 out of 10 people said, I want to learn more about that thing. You know what that thing is, of course, right? As soon as we take our name off of the product becomes wildly attractive. So maybe, instead of standing in the middle of campus with giant cutout letters in a Jeep shouting, "Go Greek!" maybe there's a different approach that would be more effective. Let's work the numbers backwards. 9.8% join, 42% have a higher neutral level of interest in joining, 91% would be interested if we took our name off. So when I start to ask you, the leaders of ATO, the leaders of your campuses, because that's what ATO is, as you start to consider the right way to do recruitment on your campus, it can't be shouting, right? It can't be rush ATO as loud as we can on social media and on banners. It can't be just standing up and being loud. Great recruitment, great marketing is not a shout, it's a whisper. It's not Sunday, 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 come on down to the frat house, there's a sale on brotherhood. That's not good recruitment. It's only going to attract people who already showed up to college, who are desperate to join a fraternity. And men who are desperate to join a frat probably aren't the guy, or at least are guys that you need to know a whole lot about. You need to do some digging with. I think everybody can agree with that. Hey, I want to go back to, I skipped a slide. I'm not going to go back to it. It doesn't matter. It just said the words incidental versus intentional. Incidental versus intentional. I want to read one more thing to you. Everybody listen real close to this, because I'm going to ask you to have a conversation with your partner about it in just one moment, so here we go. Do you live incidentally or intentionally? A lot of us are naturally gifted and can skate by, for the most part, incidentally. But we all know deep down we are meant to live with intention. Incidental suggests that whatever happened was mostly because of chance, or at least without calculation or forethought. Intentional suggests there was purpose to whatever happened. Intentional means you thought about it, planned for it, and did what you did on purpose. Most organizations recruit incidentally. The people we already know, or the people who happen to show up, or the people who are recruited based on the incidental mood or level of excellence that the members of the chapter happen to be exhibiting that day. In general, this is completely fine. We're decent people, and they're probably decent people. It's fine. Great organizations, though, recruit intentionally. Everything is done on purpose to advance their organization's purpose. Great organizations mean to recruit who and how they recruit. In general, this is more than fine. It achieves an outcome that was aimed for. Intentional recruitment honors the fact that our organizations don't challenge us to be fine, they expect us to be more. Most organizations recruit incidentally. Great organizations recruit intentionally. Most people live incidentally. You are meant to live intentionally. Would you do me a favor? Would you turn to your current partner, the person you're sitting next to, and talk about the difference between incidental recruitment and intentional recruitment for about 2 minutes? Ready, get set, go. Good job, gentlemen. Thank you very much for playing along with that. Thanks for having that conversation. That little nugget, the difference between intentional and incidental recruitment, is a little nugget I hope you walk away with. I hope it sort of eats at you a little bit and challenges you to consider everything you do for your chapter and everything you push your IFC and your fraternity community on your campus to do. There is so much incidental out there. There's so much almost accidental brothers out there. That is not what we're meant to be. That is not what was envisioned. And that's not what you want. You want to live, you know you are meant to live with intention. You know your chapter is meant to thrive with intention and to live out all of its potential. You know, my buddy Woody Woodcock, he works with me. He works a lot with ATO as well. Woody's a good friend of mine. I called him before this event, and I said, hey, what's a message you want me to share with ATO? I know it's an organization you care very much about. And Woody said this to me. He said, remind them that the men they recruit will either help solve their problems or cause more, and they get to choose. And for me, that is such a simple and beautiful and powerful message. You get to choose. Every moment is a choice. Every brother is a choice. Do me a favor, everybody, lean forward in your seats. Lean forward in your seats. Look up at the screen. Look up at a screen. Up on the screen right now, there are 3 words. On the count of 3, I'm gonna count to 3, and I'm gonna add something up to the screen. All I need you to do is say everything you see up on the screen out loud with fervor and enthusiasm. Can you do that for me? Can you do that for me? Yeah. Can you do that for me? Yeah. Ready? 1, 2, 3. What's that? Every moment is a choice. I know it's a cheesy closer. Let's all be honest with that. But a couple of you got it, and I appreciated that. Every moment is a choice. Your opportunity is either nowhere, and you can keep doing business as usual, or your opportunity is now here to recognize that the choices you make can lead to the intention you intend. I very much enjoy this, and I very much am grateful for our partnership with ATO. Thanks, Wen. Thanks, Corey. And thank you to all of you. Have a great day, everybody.